Mama Fab Finds, and I'm here with a What Sold video for the month of February. And as you can see by the tabs, it wasn't very much. I did have, thanks be, a couple larger items sell, but there are 28 days in the month of February this year because it's not a leap year. And this year I sold 28 items in 28 days. Thanks eBay for nothing. And even more, thanks Poshmark and Etsy also for nothing. I mean, literally nothing from them. And Macari. I do have a few things on Macari, but it's just the utter frustration right now with online selling and eBay changed some of their policies about what they were doing with their promoted listings, and I, like many people, opted out, and I, like many people, am being punished right now. Now, they'll probably say they're not doing that, but there are a bunch of resellers out there that would disagree. So you can decide, okay? I cannot prove anything, allegedly. It's allegedly that they're punishing people, but it is very frustrating because not only do I pay when something sells a percentage of whatever it sells for, but I additionally pay $59, almost $60 a month to have a store on eBay because I have over 5,000 items that are listed, on and off depending on how things sell. But so there's a lot of things online, and I pay monthly to have them there. So one would think within the parameters of that specific agreement that eBay would foster some sort of goodwill towards people that pay for stores, specifically because those people are already paying, to post things on there and to list things on there every month, whether they use that much or not. And that's something that we're doing because we want to list on there, and then eBay's literally doing the least in order to facilitate that, which is just really frustrating. And I mean, I understand fees go up, you have to pay people more, I understand all that, but the more you sell, the more you show people, the more you put out there for things to sell, the more things and more money you will make as a company. You are hurting yourself. You're going to hurt us. You're making resellers quit. Great, but that doesn't help you. I don't understand as a company what you're thinking about. But anyway, I just have a whole different business model in my head that wants to help others so that in turn I too am blessed. But that is not how corporate America usually works. And specifically, it is not how the reselling business works. There is just a lot of people out there that are all angling for things that aren't really fair. Meanwhile, over here in the real world where reselling lives, with people like myself and other people, where we do this to make some extra money or to feed our families, and we buy things at the lowest prices that we can find them, which has become more and more difficult at any retail space, such as the will that is supposed to be good but sometimes is not, and places like Salvation Army, whom I happen to love the things they do, but I'm not real thrilled with their thrift stores right now, and even other thrift environments, the Savers group as well. All these groups have raised their retail prices up quite a lot, and it's much harder to find items that are in the lower framework. So I'm sure more and more things are getting thrown away, which isn't good either. It's really a messed up thing right now. So, the resellers get it from that side, and they're getting it from the retail side with the fees and the lack of, all the extra ways they want to hitch up for money. And meanwhile, the environment with, economic things and people that are, shopping online, you want to try to, I do try to keep my prices very reasonable for what the items are. And I, this month was taking offers that, in order to let go of things that were a little older, and I run sales. So we always are the people that end up eating these things that are going on environmentally, whether it be um, prices going up or fees going up or um, cost of goods going up or whatever we're facing, and of course the environment of the economy that we have to deal with, and trying to put out there the best items for the for some profit for us, and our profit is constantly being eaten into. And a lot of resellers that you see online, I'm not one of them, but a lot of them have an online presence, like a very big online presence with YouTube and or other platforms, and because of that they're getting money for advertising on their platforms, or from um, YouTube for their platforms having X number of people. So because of those things, those people make money primarily from their YouTube channels, which is fine. That you can, whether you want to call themselves influencers or whatever, and their secondary business, they buy things like storage units, or they shop at online stores and they try to resell them and just get rid of them, because their primary money is just showing you what they're doing, and the other money is bonus money. But for others of us, that may not be the case, and we're out here just trying to make the money off of the one part of it, and it's very challenging. It's very challenging. Now that said, this part of my business is not my primary business, and it's not going to be, or at least it's not going to be with this channel, because I have another business that I need to work on that. So we're going to see probably a little more phasing out of these things as we go along. But for this month, the little that it is, I'm sharing with you guys. So, and I'm not trying to discourage people. I'm just trying to be realistic. There is money to be made here, but it isn't easy. It's complicated, and you need to, really kind of know what you're looking at, what you're going to sell, and be aware of what you're going to get for it before you buy it, because otherwise you'll have a lot of loss and you won't make money. And there's a fine line on some items. I've become very discerning about what I buy. I leave there when I started, I would have picked up many things that I won't touch today. And it's not because I can't sell them, it's because I can't sell them at a profit. There are lots of great things at thrift stores that you could sell on eBay, but the prices have become such where there is absolutely no wiggle room. In fact, sometimes the wiggle room is so laughable that I don't know where they looked at price, what possible thing they used to look up prices. Truly, I have no idea. But I can promise you, it wasn't a place in the real world, okay? Because, like I said before, if you've watched my videos before, what you find on eBay as things being, oh, it's selling on eBay for, yeah, well, it hasn't sold on eBay for that price, A. You can ask anything for items on eBay. You'll see things all the time priced ridiculously high for certain things, which is great. Sometimes that's because they have a buyer and they're just listing it really high, and you'll see that in here. I did that on an item recently, because they don't want anybody else to buy it, because the one buyer is going to buy it for the price that's been agreed upon through a conversation on eBay, which, on the thing, which is fine. So, but you can't go by that, which is why no one should go by that. And there is a place when you're a seller where you can go in the back office and look at research on there. And there's apps that we buy. I pay for an app where I go and look things up that have been over a 10-year period to get, because there's things that are harder, like antiques and some very rare items that you're not going to find in the last 90 days, which is what a lot of eBay is, although you can do a bigger search for up to 3 years. But some things are really obscure and you're not going to find them. And we're going to see one of those in here too, I have a feeling. So anyway, let's get into it. Anyway, so this is a vintage flocked blow mold. Little polar bear couple. The flocking was in really good shape, and I'll show you, I believe, the bottom. See, there's a little blowhole right there. So blow mold means that basically they took the plastic and they put it into a mold and they blow air into it to puff it out into the mold. So the inside is hollow and the exterior is your mold. You'll usually see blow molds being these bigger things that you see in people's yards that light up, that are like from the 50s and 60s, but a lot of ornaments are done that way too. And the flocking as well makes them a little more sought after, because it's more like of a 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe even early 80s type of thing. So this one sold for $15. Everything is going to be plus shipping with the exception of one thing. I almost always sell the the item, and it doesn't include shipping. The shipping is separate and paid by the buyer. But there is one item that you'll see in here where somebody wanted to buy it including the shipping, and it was a smaller item, so I was able to do that. The next thing up is a Fiesta Periwinkle utensil crock, made in the USA, and this sold for $47.99, and it was just really pretty. And I was excited. Now, Fiesta does well, and usually will sell no matter what it is. But when you find pieces like this that are a little more, not like dishes or cups or mugs, but are serving pieces, they tend to sell for more money, and they tend to do really well. This sold relatively quickly as well. It was listed in December, and it sold the beginning of February, so less than 90 days. This is a holiday fabulous fox figurine. It was in a little shirt and vest for dress for Christmas. I did not know who made it. It had no tags on it, and it sold for $25. And this I had a little longer, probably about a year. And it sold after Christmas. So there you have it. So this is some black brocade ribbon, fabric ribbon, and it has metallic gold thread within it. I accepted an offer for $6 for this. It was like 15 yards in this package. It was something I had personally listed, so no harm, no foul. This is a vintage Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus plastic clown head cube mug with red hair. Now the red hair there's some with yellow hair, so apparently, and white hair. So apparently the hair changes on them sometimes. So the red haired one was more valuable and a little more sought after. And this sold for about $15, and I had it for probably, let me see, can I tell? No. So I probably had it for over 2 years, because for 2 years I've been keeping track of how long I've had it. So I've had it for at least 2 years. So this is an Izod large long sleeve polo shirt with a herringbone pattern, which you can see in that picture there. And it was new with tags, as you can see up there, and it sold for $39. So Izod pre-owned, although this is pre-owned but sold, but it did have its tags still. But new with tags, or stuff with the tags still on it, will always sell faster and easier generally. And this was listed in October, so not less than 6 months, or just about 6 months. But with clothing, Izod is not a brand that sells fast or for decent money generally, if it's used. But because this had tags, it's not used. It's still considered new. This one sold for $39, and it sold pretty quickly. So I'll take it. This was the listing I was talking about. This was sold for $10 plus shipping, and you see I listed it for $100, and I put on it private listing patchy. Now you have to understand this patch was part of a set that I had listed of Build-A-Bear items, and someone reached out and asked, "Can I just buy the eye patch?" And I said, "Yeah, fine. I'll sell the eye patch." They wanted it for $10 without shipping included. So that makes it, like, I think the shipping was around like under $5, just under $5. So this was a little over $5 that it sold for, and I still have the rest of the items that I can put back up as a lot. So it was fine. And the cost of goods on that was probably pennies, because I think I bought at a yard sale, not this past summer, the summer before, a whole bag full of Build-A-Bear clothing and some other clothing for like stuffed animal doll for maybe $5. So at the end of the day, this is fine. And I've already sold a few pieces, so I'm well in profit on it, so it didn't hurt anything. This is a pair of Free People women's jeans. They're 28, 27. They're a floral pattern. They do have a little bit of fade and wear to them, which I think it's more the wash than it is the wear type of thing, but they are pre-owned. And they sold for $22.22. This is a New York Laundry extra large hooded top. It's got bling on it. It's a cream crisp, and the color is crisp and vintage. It's not that it is vintage. That's what the color is called, vintage. So I listed it for $29.99. I took an offer of $25.99 on that item, and that's something that my daughter gave me that she had. So some of her stuff I list if it's comes up that it's worth anything, and that sold pretty quickly actually too, probably about 6 months. This is a copy of Stephen King's The Shining from 1990. It is vintage, um, in good condition. It still has its dust cover on it, but apparently this particular one was because of the cover, because of the year, whatever it was, hardcover, was worth more money, and it's been listed a while, but it did sell for the full price at $150. Not all Stephen King are like that, but there are some that are. I sold another one, I think, last year. These are from my private collection, by the way. But that was a first edition. I want to say it was I don't know which one it was, but anyway, that was around. I think it was listed for 400, and based on past comps, and someone reached out and made an offer on it in the like 375 range, which I accepted. So, and they were buying it for someone that they knew for a holiday gift, and who loved Stephen King. So that was great. Anyway, miniature. This is a miniature lusterware porcelain little coffee pot. It's a Christmas ornament with that Victorian look. That's got its spout. But the taller ones are coffee pots. The shorter, fatter ones are teapots. Don't know. But I took an offer of $9.99 on that one. This is a Jellycat London Bashful Cream Cat Kitten Floppy Ivory White Soft. It's very soft. Oh my gosh. It's 12 inches, and I accepted an offer of $39.99. This is a button now. A couple summers ago, I went to a yard sale and picked up a whole bag of these buttons for Broadway plays. I want to say it's $5 for the whole bag or something like that. Maybe a little bit more, but anyway. And I've been listing them, and they've been selling steadily since I bought them. I'm well in the profit on these. But I had this one listed for $13, and I took an offer of $11.70, and I have one more left of that particular one. I have a couple more left, but I probably have sold half the ones I bought already. They've been going little by little. So this is a Sesame Street 2013 Gonger the Chef cake topper or toy, and it's by Hasbro. And this one, I took an offer of $6 on. Again, I bought a bag of them at a yard sale, and again, already in the profit. This one might have been a mistake, gotta tell you. So this is a vintage bijou elephant plush, dark olive green. He's standing up, he's stuffed, he's probably from the 1960s. You can see he's in pretty good condition. I saw another of these that the only one other has ever been listed or sold in all the days, okay, that I could find. I found lots that were similar, but the eyes were different. So I did a lot of research. Nothing on WorthPoint, nothing on eBay, nothing on Posh, nothing online, nothing. Tried AI, nothing. And then finally I found one that was like this, a lot more wear, but it sold for like $12. So, okay, not all vintage toys are worth a lot of money. That's fine. I understand that. That's fine. So I figured I'll list it for 20. I mean, that's good. I didn't pay a lot for it, so we're fine. I still made money, and it sold less than 24 hours. And immediately I thought, what was it? What was it? Because it probably was, I mean, it probably was something that I just, and I looked and looked and looked. I even looked on, like, I go on the Facebook, like, what is it? Sites and things. So anyway, whatever it is, somebody's happy because they found it. That's great. And I know sometimes when they're rare, like I do post them and I'll list them for a higher price or put them up for auction. But with stuffed animals, that doesn't always work. It's a very different market for stuffed animals. There's a very finite group of people. I'm not saying there's not lots of people out there, but they're looking for specific things and they're looking for specific brands. And so, like, they'll sell, but they're not always you're not gonna get a bidding war for something on stuffed animals necessarily. There's exceptions to every rule, but That's it. So I did look, I did contemplate, I did go back and I did all my due diligence. And so there's another, also it could be that I didn't underlist it, that I just listed it for a good price and somebody was looking for it. But this isn't the wrong price, it's just the right price. It's the good price, and it's, top of the thing, but I was able to get that for it. So we're gonna just go with that because it'll keep me up at night if this was worth $100 and I sold it for 20. And honestly, it could be, but I don't know because there's nothing I could find to prove that. And I got stuff going back 10 years. So one would think I'd have found it if it existed, and I didn't. So I'll be well be. Anyway, this is a Calico Critter hot dog sign for a food truck. It sold for $10.50. This is a Hallmark ornament, our first Christmas together from 2012, and it sold for $6. This is a Midwood long-armed monkey with pink hearts all over it. It sold after Valentine's Day, but it did sell for $12. I'm always amazed by like some of the, I have stuff like, really interesting, good, like stuffed animals. Midwood, I've sold Midwood 4 or 5 times, but Midwood is not the brand that one they would sell. It's not. It's not the great quality. They're just kitschy little like stuffed animals. Most of them are those kind of monkeys, but they sell. I've sold several of them. It just always makes me laugh when I sell one because certainly I have other plush in my entourage of plush that I have in stock that are such better quality and so much more interesting, even some great monkeys. Um, but those don't sell. I have a monkey that's got like a rubbery flocked face that is so cool. Why he doesn't sell, I have no idea. He's beautiful. But the Midwood heart pink monkey with the long arms with the Velcro on his hands, he sold. Or the hook and loop, I didn't say the B word. Exclude that. Anyway, just it's funny to me. It's just so funny. Anyway, these are Teva water shoes for the beach or for the wood or whatever fishing. They're women's size 7 and they're in pretty good shape. They're little like scruffies on the front, but for water shoes, these are in good shape because water shoes do not do well generally. And I do pick these up early, but they are actually in very good shape. So they're not like the water part of it, depending on how much water or what kind of water got on them, can make them smell really bad, can make them mildewy or moldy, can make them like falling apart because it undoes the glue. So water shoes, when you pick them up, be prepared. Even Tevas are great, but if they're water shoes, be very careful because they play with them. Make sure they're not bend them. Make sure they're not dry rotted. Smell them. I know smelling old people's shoes is gross, but really they can be gross. Okay, so you don't want them in your house gross. So these were none of those things. So and they sold for an offer of $28. This is an Arthur Wood mid-century modern dog bank. I didn't realize he was a bank at first, which kind of made me sad because banks are a little more tricky. But he's so adorable. I mean, look at him. How could you not? He's really adorable. And he still had a sticker on top as well, so that was great. I don't know if I can go to it. Why? Well, because he's in the way. Sorry, guys. I gotta move him over there. But let's see if I can show you. Nope, I probably can't. Oh well, I could, but I can't, but I don't know why it's not working because oh, there. Okay. So, no, it's not working, just not working. This is it. All right, so anyway, you can probably see right there, there's a sticker that says Arthur Wood anyway. So, and it sold for an offer of $43. So he's really cute. This is a Martin Wong, also tie, made in the USA. It's got this peacock kind of pattern on it. I know, it says purple and green. It really is purple. You cannot tell from this picture very well. But this outside area here around the brown is purple. And it's like a kind of olive celadon green color. I took an offer of $18 on that one. This is a vacation Bible school set for Catholic school. It's called Baobab Blast. And it is based on like an African kind of safari with all these characters in it. It's super cute. It's from 2010. I listed all the contents that were in it. It is opened, but it's in good condition. It was listed for $100, and I took it off for 75. This is a Kokishi quilt pattern by Cindy Roddenmeyer from 2009. And it sold for $12. And it is just the pattern. It is just how to make it and how to cut out the pieces for it. It is nothing else. And it sold for $12. This is a vintage Boyd's Baby pink and purple bear lovey with a full body because it has a head and its arms, and it's got a satin tummy that's purple. There, it's working now. There you go. And it sold for $22.50. And it did have a little wear, but it was still cute. This is an Aiden and Aeneas muslin cotton gray baby blanket for swaddling or swaddling blanket, and it's got monkeys with curly tails. There you go, monkeys with curly tails on it. And it sold for $24.22. So do not discount those blankets. This is a Gun Snuffles bear. He is tan, soft, brown, cute, curved, all the things. I don't know if you know Snuffles bears, but they are curved little bears with these cute little faces. And on their cute little faces are cute little smiles. I don't know where that. I did send her. She wanted to make sure it had a smile, and because I didn't take a good picture of the smile, but under here is a cute little smile, and I did send her a picture because she reached out, and she instantly was in love because it was like a snuffle bear that she had before. So it sold for $25. And I have another lady that was looking for a small white polar bear that I noticed had a little smudge on him, so he had a spa day, and I have to reach out to her because she was interested in that. But there's a run on snuffle bears right now, and I always pick up snuffle bears. I absolutely love them. They're super soft. Now, here's how you can tell if it's an older snuffle bear and they're newer snuffle bears. The older snuffle bears are very, very soft, and they're a little squishy, like huggable. The newer snuffle bears have that acrylic fur. Like, well, I'm sure that the older ones are acrylic too, but it's got like a rougher texture to it, and I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. And you can tell that they're not exactly the same. Their faces are the same, bodies are the same. Their bodies are also not quite as soft. They're a little more stuffed, so they have a little more rigidity to them. They're not hard, but they're not as soft as the older ones are. So, just a little note, in my personal opinion, I think the older ones are softer, and they're all so darn cute. I can't even stand it. Okay, I just can't. They're so cute. Anyway, so they're one of my favorites. This is some vintage embroidered brocade trim ribbon, again with a metallic in it. This is being sold. I have a whole roll of it. It's being sold by the yard for $10 a yard. I got 13 more yards to go. But this, I think I had almost 20 when I started, but it's selling for $10 a yard, and I sold a yard. And this is an American Girl Just Like You doll, and it's a Just Like You 188. How do I know that? If you go onto the, I think there's a wiki page, there's a person that has all the information for all the kinds of dolls that have been out from American Girl from the beginning till now. And it shows you the face styles, and like, so there's specific dolls that have names that look a certain way, but the Just Like You dolls are designed to look like your child, so they all have numbers, JLYs, and then a number. And the light skin, the wavy hair, the hazel eyes, all those things will tell you which JLY you have. And this one is from 2022, and it's 188, and she sold for $75. And that is the last sale for the month of February. So, as you can see, things were a little lean, but I did have a couple good sales. I had this, and I had the book, and I had the Vacation Bible School. So it was not a terrible, terrible month, but it certainly was a lot slower. I mean, February is always a little slow, but last February, my February was really pretty good. This February is probably more towards the normal slowness of February because people didn't get their checks yet. But thus far, my March has not looked any better, I have to say. So, there's that. I don't know exactly what's going to come of all this. I couldn't begin to tell you. I'm just kind of plugging along right now, keeping my head down, doing my work, and trying to see how things pan out. I just have to keep the faith that it'll all work out because things generally do. I'm just not as patient sometimes as what it might take for things to work out. But it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I will be doing a couple more videos along the way. I will let you know when the video content that you'll see on this channel is going to fade away. And it's not going to go away completely, but it's going to probably just be these monthly videos at some point. I do have some more in the can for the haul videos, and I do have some other stuff coming out along the way. So there will be some more. It's just going to be slowly tapering off and coming to just probably these for a while because my other business is going to be doing videos at some point, and I'm going to need to put all that effort and time into editing and things for those, and it's just not going to be possible to do both. I'm not superhuman, and I'm not even trying to be at this point in my life. But truly, not trying. I never was, but I used to watch videos. The moms that have entirely too much time on their hands and no one knows how. Yeah, those people that were doing crafts and going to I did a lot of things. Don't get me wrong, but I would watch and just think, how in the world, like, do these people not sleep? I don't know. So I don't sleep and I still don't have enough time. So I'm sure I don't understand, but it's okay. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate both of those things. Share it with your friends. Let them know the crazy lady, Basket Heat's mom, is up here showing you some things. And I will definitely catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so, so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Catch you later. Bye-bye.